Throughout history, some of the most famous artworks in the world were once considered dangerous. Paintings were banned, sculptures were hidden, and artists were accused of crossing the line. But here's the strange part. Many of those same artworks are now displayed in the world's most respected museums. So what really makes art controversial? Is it the artist, the message, or the society viewing it? In this documentary, we explore the moment when creativity stops being admired and starts becoming a global debate. Sunlight streams through a tall window. People drift from one painting to the next, their footsteps soft on the polished floor. In one room, a crowd gathers. Some lean in, their faces filled with awe and curiosity. They are trying to understand. But on the edge of the crowd, other faces are tight with fury. A protest sign is raised. Voices become loud. Suddenly, this quiet space is a battleground of ideas. This scene has played out for centuries. It reveals a profound truth. Art holds a power that can unite us, but it can also tear us apart. This power is not always loud. Often, it is a whisper, a new idea planted in our minds. It can challenge a tradition we have held for generations. It can question a belief we thought was unshakable. Art can rearrange the furniture of our minds. It can offer us a new window to look out of. And through that window, the world we thought we knew looks entirely different. This is the true potential of art. It is a force for change. But change is not always welcome. For many, change feels like a threat. It can feel like an attack on their identity, their community, their very sense of what is right and wrong. When a painting, a sculpture, a film touches that raw nerve, the reaction is swift and strong. The art becomes a scandal, a controversy. It becomes a symbol not of beauty, but of division. And the debate that follows is rarely just about the art itself. It is about who we are and who we want to be. Art has a unique job. It is not always meant to be beautiful. It is not always meant to soothe. Sometimes its purpose is to challenge. It must push against the boundaries of our culture. It must question the traditions we take for granted. It must hold up a mirror to the beliefs that shape our society. Great art often asks uncomfortable questions. It nudges us out of our comfortable routines. It forces us to see the world not just as it is, but as it could be. This is where its true power lies. When art challenges our way of life, it can feel deeply personal. Our culture is like the air we breathe. It is all around us, shaping how we think, feel, and act. A work of art that criticizes that culture can feel like an attack on our very being. It can make us feel exposed. It can make us feel misunderstood. This feeling of being threatened is a powerful motivator. It can lead people to organize. It can lead people to protest. It can lead people to demand removal of the offending artwork. The art becomes a symbol of disrespect. Tradition provides a sense of stability. It connects us to our past. It gives us a guide for the future. Art that breaks with tradition can be disorienting. It can feel like a rejection of the wisdom of our ancestors. When Impressionist painters first showed their work, people were used to smooth, perfect paintings. The new style, with its visible brushstrokes. The new style, with its blurry light. It seemed sloppy and unfinished. It broke the rules. It challenged the tradition of what a painting was supposed to look like. The public was not ready for it. This tension is a fundamental part of art's story. Art pushes, culture pushes back. It is a dance between the new and the old, the familiar and the strange. When an artist presents a new way of seeing, it can be a lonely and difficult path. They are often met with ridicule and rejection. But this very struggle can be what makes the art so important. It forces a conversation that society might not be ready to have. But it is a conversation that needs to happen for us to grow. Many of the world's most beloved artworks were once considered scandalous. They were so new, so different that they shocked the public. People did not understand them. In fact, they often hated them. Time, however, has a way of changing our perspective. What once caused outrage can later be seen as a masterpiece. The shock fades, and a deeper appreciation grows. This pattern repeats itself again and again throughout the history of art. It teaches us a valuable lesson about patience and open-mindedness. Consider the work of Edouard Manet in the 1860s. He painted scenes from modern life. His figures were not idealized gods or nobles. They looked like real people you might see on the streets of Paris. His painting, Olympia, showed a nude woman staring directly at the viewer. She was not a goddess. She was a modern woman, confident and unashamed. The public was appalled. They saw it as vulgar and indecent. Today, Olympia is hailed as a revolutionary work, a turning point that helped birth modern art. Then came Pablo Picasso. In the early 20th century, he shattered the rules of perspective. He painted faces from multiple angles at once. He painted bodies from multiple angles at once. His famous work, Les Demoiselles d'Avignon, presented 5 figures with sharp, fragmented bodies and mask-like faces. When he first showed it to his friends, even they were shocked. One called it a catastrophe. The public saw it as ugly and barbaric. Now it is considered one of the most important paintings of the modern era, a work that opened the door to cubism and abstraction. Perhaps the most famous example is Marcel Duchamp. In 1917, he submitted a simple porcelain urinal to an art exhibition. He turned it on its back and signed it with a fake name. He called it Fountain. The exhibition committee refused to display it. It was seen as a joke, an insult to the very idea of art. But Duchamp was asking a profound question. Who decides what art is? Made by the artist's hand? Or can it be an idea? That single, shocking gesture changed the course of art history forever. The power of art to provoke did not end in the past. It is alive and well today. Contemporary artists continue to push boundaries, asking difficult questions about the world we live in now. They use their work to confront issues of power, identity, and justice. And just like their predecessors, they often face intense public backlash. Their work sparks headlines, protests, and heated debates about the role of art in a free society. The controversies may have new faces, but the underlying tensions are the same. In the late 1980s, the artist Andres Serrano created a photograph titled Piss Christ. It was a beautiful, glowing image of a small plastic crucifix submerged in a glass of the artist's own urine. Close up, the small plastic crucifix submerged in the glass. For many, this was a profound act of blasphemy, a hateful attack on their most sacred beliefs. Protests erupted. Politicians condemned the work and called for an end to public funding for the arts. For Serrano and his defenders, the photograph was a complex commentary on the commercialization and cheapening of religious faith in modern society. The debate became a national firestorm. Another powerful example comes from the work of Chris Offaly. In the late 1990s, his painting The Holy Virgin Mary caused a major uproar when it was shown in New York City. The painting depicted a black Madonna, decorated with glitter and collaged images, and resting on 2 balls of elephant dung. For some, the use of dung was deeply offensive and sacrilegious. The city's mayor threatened to cut the museum's funding. For the artist, the dung was a symbol of fertility and connection to the earth, a material used in his Nigerian heritage. The controversy became a fierce battle over freedom of expression. In our own time, artists like Ai Weiwei use their work as a form of activism. He creates large-scale installations and films that criticize the Chinese government's stance on human rights and free speech. As a result, he has been arrested, imprisoned, and placed under surveillance. Kara Walker uses stark, black-and-white silhouettes to depict brutal scenes from the history of slavery in America. Her work is powerful and deeply unsettling. Some viewers find it too painful to look at, while others see it as a necessary confrontation with a traumatic past we have yet to fully reckon with. Art that causes controversy can be seen in two ways. It can be a mirror, showing us who we are, flaws, contradictions, and it can be a hammer, breaking down old structures, making way for something new. A mirror simply reflects what is already there. It does not create the image, it only reveals it. When we look into this mirror and do not like what we see, injustice, prejudice, cruelty, our first instinct may be to shatter the mirror. But breaking the mirror does not change the reality it shows. The hammer function of art is more active. It is about creating change. An artist with a hammer is not content to just reflect the world. They want to reshape it. They use their work to chip away at outdated ideas, oppressive systems. This can be a slow, difficult process. Each strike of the hammer may only create a small crack. But over time, with enough strikes, the entire wall can come tumbling down. This is why hammer art is often seen as threatening by those who benefit from the way things are. Controversy itself can be a powerful tool. When a work of art sparks a public fight, it forces people to talk. It brings an issue out of the shadows into the light of public debate. It can turn a museum into a town square. Citizens arguing about shared values. These conversations, even when angry and divisive, can be productive. They can lead to a deeper understanding of different points of view. They can push a society to re-examine its laws and its conscience. The noise of controversy can amplify the artist's message. But this process also comes with great risk. The hammer can be silenced. When backlash is severe, art can be censored or destroyed. Artists can be punished, losing their funding, losing their jobs, losing their freedom. Fear can lead to a chilling effect, where other artists become afraid to tackle difficult subjects. When this happens, a vital voice is lost. The mirror is covered up. The hammer is locked away. This is why the freedom to create and to see controversial art is so precious. It is a measure of a society's health and its capacity for growth. History has a fascinating way of judging art. The loudest critics of one generation often fall silent in the next. The works that once caused riots can become treasured national icons. Time acts as a filter. It washes away the initial shock and outrage, allowing us to see the work with fresh eyes. An idea that seemed radical and dangerous can, with the passing of decades, become familiar and even comforting. The context changes, and so does our understanding. Let us look again at Marcel Duchamp's fountain. In 1917, it was rejected as a vulgar prank. It was an object from a bathroom, not a sculpture for a gallery. But the question it posed, what is art, refused to go away. It echoed through the 20th century, influencing generations of artists. Today, Fountain is considered a landmark of modern art. It is taught in every art history class. What was once an outrageous gesture is now a fundamental lesson about the nature of creativity itself. But the question is eternal.